by the time he gets to the harvest season, and for whatever reason, a lot of people have produced more crop, and if prices are lower, he is protected because he has already locked it in. And if, of course, also prices go up, he'll get an even better price. So this habit of selling or locking in the sales price at the time of planting the crop, जिस time seed का planting चल रहा है, उसी time आउटपुट का प्राइस लॉक करना, ये हैबिट इनकलकेट करने के लिए, ये जो मेथडोलॉजी है, इसको अडॉप्ट करने के लिए हम कुछ एफपीओस को लेंगे जो चना और रेपसीड फार्मर्स को सपोर्ट करते हैं, और उनके माध्यम से ये एक एक एफपीओ के साथ एनसीडेक्स और एनसीडेक्स के जो इकोसिस्टम है, चाहे वो वेयरहाउस सर्विस प्रोवाइडर्स हैं, चाहे ब्रोकर्स हों, चाहे बैंक्स हों, इन सब के साथ, and with active support from SEBI, we will do a lot of awareness and hand holding to ensure that FPOs एक एफपीओ के साथ जो नॉर्मली 500 से 1000 किसानों के लिए एस्टैब्लिश किया गया है, ऐसे एफपीओस को चुनेंगे जो हमारे एनसीडेक्स में ऑलरेडी फेमिलियर हैं, जो हमारा मतलब फ्यूचर्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में ट्रेड कर चुके हैं और डिलीवरी दे चुके हैं. वी विल स्टार्ट विद दोस बिकॉज दे हैव ऑलरेडी have some familiarity, but we will also look at other FPOs who are in these regions near our delivery centers where they are growing chana and rapeseed, and get this habit of locking in the price when deciding which crop you're going to plant and locking in the price for that crop. Now, suppose, as Kapil mentioned, if there is a problem with the crop, then he will, of course, have to go for crop insurance. But most of the times, and over in this country now, in most crops, we are having significant output. So, but this habit has not formed. People are producing the crop and then trying to sell it. And then there is a pressure on selling, and therefore maybe prices are lower. But if you get into the habit of buying the put option, then you are locking in both the costs as well as the price, and therefore you're protecting your income. So this is one side of the story. Of course, the other side of the options contract is the writer of the contract, and the writer of the contract who is taking the risk. So the person who will buy is assuring the FPO that I will buy at this price when you come to deliver, even if prices are lower. Now, वो risk लेने के लिए उसको एक premium मिलता है. So in for example, if it's a chana or a rapeseed contract, if the prices are around 5,000 rupees, maybe the cost of that option will be, say, 200 rupees per quintal. So that money is paid by the FPO to the writer of the option, and he's taking the risk now. So this is one way of market. Who can bear the risk? Maybe a financial player can bear the risk, or a processor can bear the risk, and they have other ways to hedge their risk. But the farmer is not taking the risk in what is otherwise a risky business of farming. So this is a market-based mechanism option, as was outlined. इसमें उसका price भी lock होता है, उसका therefore income भी protect होता है, और उससे ज़्यादा अगर price मिलेगा, he will get that. And on the other side, of course, there are writers. So on the exchange, we have both types of participants: people who are willing to take the risk, and people like the farmer or the FPO who don't want the risk. So this habit of is being encouraged through this initiative, and we hope that this is just the beginning. And as more and more FPOs and more farmers get used to it and understand it and benefit from it, then we hope that each FPO will be able to spread the message to other farmers. Each FPO will train other FPOs, and therefore the use of options in goods will be very widespread in the country. So with that, I will stop, and we can, depending on what the program is, take questions, and maybe we will keep you all posted as we roll this out, as FPOs start participating, and we will get them to document their own stories. And we really thank all the media who are attending today. I think if you provide this information to a wide cross section of people, जितना आप समझाओगे अपने आर्टिकल्स के थ्रू, उतनी ज्यादा जानकारी होगी इस देश में और उतना ज्यादा ये इंस्ट्रूमेंट प्रचलित होगा और उतना ज्यादा किसानों का इनकम प्रोटेक्ट होगा। तो वी आर थैंकफुल फॉर द मीडिया। और जब भी हम एफपीओज, हम तो एक्सचेंज की तरफ से बात कर ही रहे हैं, पर आगे जाके जो जो एफपीओज ये इनिशिएटिव में काम चालू करेंगे, उनका इंटरेक्शन भी प्रेस के साथ करवाएंगे, ताकि you can also report on the progress and the success stories of this initiative. So with that, I thank you all for coming again, and look forward to any questions on what we are rolling out today. Thank you.
Sir, now we will have a quick session for the question answer, and requesting everyone, person who is not asking the question, please keep your connection on a mute so other people can hear properly. Whoever wants to have a question, please raise your hand first, and you can ask the question. You may unmute first if you have any question.
तो बनना चाहिए ना सर आपकी तरफ से। Sir, this is Suresh from Business Line.
Hello, yeah, Suresh. Yeah.
Sir, you talked about the FPO, but I just wanted to understand. Have you tied up for the writer, the person who writes the contract? Have you done something on that front?
Yeah, we have interacted with a lot of participants who are very familiar with options, who already have traded options in the past. So we most of them are able to do this in terms of writing options, and they have their own strategies for risk management. So, for example, if someone has written a put option, then typically he would be, because of the writing of the put option, he will be technically long the product. So, but he can hedge himself in the underlying futures in terms of putting a short position using delta hedging and all that. So there are various types of participants who will be willing to write, and we are talking to them. So, for example, even some processors will be willing to write. So we are engaged with that, and I think this is important because when the farmer is planting the seed, he's planting the seed based on a demand by a processor. So the signal for the writing of the option or the buying of the futures, even if the farmer selling a futures, that shows that the farmer doesn't have the risk. But to your specific question, yes, we have engaged with options, those who will be writing options, and they also come from a wide variety of backgrounds.
Yeah, sir, also I want to just get a clarity on how much you're going to spend on this awareness program. Is there any target? How many people you want to cover, FPOs?
Yeah, so we will take it sort of slowly, because this requires some hand-holding. So we expect at least maybe we will start with each of these FPOs, maybe 10, 20 tons, and we'll try to cover about maybe 100, 200 FPOs. So that is the approximate size and scope of what we are trying to cover under this initiative.
So amount, how much you will be spending, sir?
I think it depends on, say, if you take an average of 200 rupees for each of these FPOs in terms of, I mean, each of these options, right? And that's about 200 rupees a quintal, and that's about 2,000 rupees a ton. So maybe we'll look at about 5,000 tons or so in total. That's the sort of approximate thing that we're looking at.
So this is Lakshmi from PTI, sir.
Yeah, Lakshmi.
Good evening. So what is the current participation in case of chana and rapeseed? Because it's been launched recently, right?
Yeah.
Is it only FPOs participating, or individual farmers are also, interested? Have shown any interest?
Yeah, so as you know, both rapeseed and chana are very liquid contracts, right? Both of them trade, and of course, for the liquidity is more in the near months and lesser in the deferred months. So one of the things about options, as we said, is it is an ideal instrument for a farmer or an FPO on behalf of farmers, of course, to lock in the price, because he also has an upside to the prices. So this participation, of course, there's a cost to it. So out of all the FPOs, we already have about 70, 80 FPOs who have actively participated on NCDEX on the futures contracts. So it is, so they are familiar, they have used the futures contract. In the futures contract, the cost, you don't have to pay a premium. You of course have to pay a transaction fee, etc. But but you don't get the benefit of the upside. So we have had a lot of these FPOs already participating, and so we, as I mentioned, we'll start with those FPOs because they already are familiar with the exchange. Yeah.
And right now there are no FPOs participating. Those who participated in futures, are they participating the 70 to 80? Are they participating in options?
No, not yet, because as I mentioned, there is a cost outgo when you want to buy an option, right? So they are looking for some support for locking in that price.
So who is going? How do you plan to address these issues, sir? Like who is going to bear it? Is it FPO as a management will bear on behalf of farmers, or if suppose as an individual farmer has to pay, will it not be a burden for that person? For farmer to pay such a high premium?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say that this is a familiarization mechanism, right? So for the familiarization, we have funds which have been allocated by SEBI out of a corpus, part of what we call the exchange fees, regulatory fees that we pay to SEBI. So they have last year, I think year before last, they had stated that you can use this money for initiatives towards farmers and FPOs. So this support will be used for encouraging these FPOs to start this process, because of course it's a cost, but it's by helping them with the cost, they will understand what the whole mechanism is. Then one needs to figure out how do they continue to do it. Just as an example, if you get a high price, then you don't mind spending that money because you're locking in a good price, right? So partly what has happened historically is even when prices are high, farmers have gone and planted. They planted because the prices are high and the market wants that product, but they have not locked it in. So now everyone has produced a large crop and then prices crash. So this is more to say that even if it's a cost to you, it doesn't matter because you've locked in a price, right? So for example, farmers are planting seed, that costs money. Farmers are putting fertilizer, that costs money. Farmers are paying for crop insurance, that costs money. Similarly, farmers will pay for the premium because that costs money, but it also locks in a high price. So I think that is the argument. But initially, as we said, we have some funds which we will use to walk them through the whole process. Then as they see the benefits, they will themselves start participating in it more and more.
So if you can be very specific, how much of the fund from the corpus you'll be utilizing for the familiarization exercise, if you can be specific.
Yes, so as I mentioned, we would have somewhere in the region of 1 crore, which is what I mentioned, 5,000 tons we will sort of cover in this round of, but it is more from a corpus available that is aimed at multiple FPOs. So it is not, it's more to encourage them, to show them how to do it, etc. But in the long term, we believe that they will see a lot of merit in doing it and they will be prepared to invest in it. Similarly, bankers will be prepared to invest in it because banks are giving them the loans for the seed, for the fertilizer, etc. So the bank also, it's not only helping the farmer lock in his income, it is helping the bank by ensuring that all the loans it is giving also are protected by a good price and a good income. So the bank also is comfortable that it will get back its money because the farmer is making an income. So we expect other agencies also to start supporting the FPOs in this manner. And the FPO itself on its own will want to spend in the money to lock in the price rather than keep waiting and then you don't know whether you will get the price or not. So once you have decided to grow chana, lock in the price of chana. If you decided to grow rapeseed, lock in the price of rapeseed. That's the habit we want to encourage.
So if I'm right, NCDEX will bear the premium for up to 5,000 tons of these two commodities.
Yeah, for this initiation.
Initiation.
Yeah.
So both chana and rapeseed, sir?
Yeah, for chana and rapeseed. These are the two products because they are rabi crops and they are going to be, they are being planted now. Yeah, correct.
Yes. And is there any specific region that you are targeting? Because where the chana and rapeseed is grown, those areas only will be targeted.
Correct. Yeah. So MP and parts of Rajasthan as well.
So how long would be this familiarization program would continue? So like till this sowing is over, or
So
the window is too short, right?
Yeah, we'll start now in November. So planting will occur in November and December. So when we will watch and cover as many FPOs as we believe we can reach out, because we also have limited reach. But we believe it's more important to do the complete hand-holding for some FPOs. So it's not so much the scale, but it is it's deep knowledge and deep hand-holding for the FPOs. And like I mentioned, we've done this for futures, and now we're doing it for options. And we believe this is even.
Is it the revenue for the exchange?
No. Premium is charged by the writer of the option, Lakshmi. The writer of the option, as I mentioned, is bearing the risk. So he is selling the option and the farmer is buying the option. So the risk is now borne by, so if prices fall, for example, from 5,000 to 4,000, that is the problem of the person who's written the option. He has to bear that loss. Of course, if prices makes that 200 rupees. So this option writer is the person who's capable of taking risk, but he's got to be paid. Premium is arrived at by that methodology, and it is not money that is paid for profit.
Sir, your audio is muted. Sir, your audio is muted.
Oh, sorry, sir. Did I answer the question?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Hello, sir. I'm Nisha Gupta, and right now, Market Times TV live viewers are watching this program. So there is a question about how you will tell farmers about the FPO. कैसे जागरूक करेंगे FPO के बारे में farmers को?
नहीं, देखिए, फार्मर्स तो एफपीओ के बारे में जानते हैं. उन्होंने एफपीओ स्थापित किया है. ये जो एफपीओ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, ये तो किसानों का ही ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है. वो किसानों का जो प्लांटिंग हो रहा है अभी चना और रेपसीड में, इसका एफपीओ के माध्यम से उनको जानकारी पहुंचाएंगे कि अगर वो अभी जब प्लांटिंग कर रहे हैं तभी अगर भाव फिक्स कर लें ऑप्शन के माध्यम से, तो वो उनको मतलब फिर निश्चिंत रह सकते हैं प्राइस के बारे में. तो वो इनकम उनका. हाँ जी.
तो सर, ऑप्शंस के बारे में फार्मर्स को कैसे, फ्यूचर ऑप्शंस के बारे में फार्मर्स को कैसे जागरूक करेंगे, कैसे ये सिखाया जाएगा, एनसीडीएक्स कैसे इस पे काम करेगा?
देखिए, यही है, जैसे कपिल जी ने कहा, ये थियोरेटिकल नहीं है. हम उनको करवा के समझाएंगे कि आप 10 टन का ऑप्शंस पुट ऑप्शन खरीदिए. ठीक है, आज नवंबर है, आपने प्लांट कर लिया, 10 टन का आपका आउटपुट एक्सपेक्टेड है, 10 टन का आप एक पुट ऑप्शन खरीद लीजिए. उसके लिए 200 रुपए लगते हैं. ठीक है, वो 200 रुपए में से हमने ये सेबी के सपोर्ट के माध्यम से उनको वो 200 रुपए का कॉस्ट भी पहुंचा दिया. ठीक है, तो ये जो फिर उनके पास ये ओनरशिप हो गया, ये 10 टन का पुट ऑप्शन. अब जब मार्च आएगा तब अगर भाव टूटेंगे तो भी इनको वो भाव मिलेगा, क्योंकि उन्होंने लॉक कर लिया. और अगर भाव ऊपर गए तो भी उनको ऊंचा भाव मिल सकता है. ठीक है, ये भाव ऑप्शन फिर यूज नहीं है, बट मार्केट प्राइस पे बेच सकते हैं. तो ये जो जानकारी है, ये करके समझेंगे एफपीओस, और फिर और किसानों को समझाएंगे और दूसरे एफपीओस को भी समझाएंगे. तो हम. हाँ जी.
इसमें डिलीवरीज का क्या रोल रहेगा, डिलीवरीज कैसे होंगी?
हाँ जी, इसमें जो अगर जैसे मैंने कहा, अगर भाव 5,000 की जगह 4,500 होते हैं और वो फार्मर या एफपीओ वहां पे डिलीवरी देना चाहता है, तो वो उसको जो भी असिस्टेंस चाहिए कि मटेरियल पहुंचा दें और वहां टेस्टिंग हो के वो डिलीवर हो सके, उसका इंतजाम हम करेंगे, और वो ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं। पहले भी फ्यूचर्स में भी कई एफपीओज पार्टिसिपेट कर चुके हैं और एक्सचेंज में डिलीवरी दे चुके हैं। तो वो जो डिलीवरी प्रोसेस है वो तो एफपीओज ऑलरेडी समझते हैं। ये जो मैंने बताया पहले फ्यूचर्स में भी काफी लोग काम कर चुके हैं, उनको अभी अपग्रेड ऑप्शंस में इसलिए करना चाहते हैं क्योंकि ऑप्शंस उनके लिए और भी अच्छा इंस्ट्रूमेंट है। अगर जैसे मैंने कहा 5,000 में उन्होंने फ्यूचर्स बेच दिया और मार्केट 5,500 हो गया, तो उनको वो 5,500 का भाव नहीं मिलता। पर ऑप्शंस उन्होंने अगर पुट ऑप्शन खरीदा, 5,500 हो गया है, तो उनको वो अच्छा भाव भी मिलेगा, 5,500 का भाव भी मिल सकता है। तो ये जो बेनिफिट किसानों के लिए या एफपीओस के माध्यम से ये हम उनके माध्यम से उनका जो प्रैक्टिकल यूज ऑफ द परचेज ऑफ ऑप्शंस है उसके माध्यम से उनको जागृत करेंगे।
सर अगर यहाँ पर जिस हिसाब से भी आपने बताया रेट्स के बारे में कि ये सौदा जिस हिसाब से करेंगे, अगर फार्मर्स की क्रॉप डैमेज हो जाती है तो क्या होगा, फिर इसके आगे क्या रिफॉर्म्स है?
हाँ, देखिए वो अच्छा सवाल है, क्योंकि फ्यूचर्स में अगर आप बेचेंगे और आपका क्रॉप नहीं है और फ्यूचर्स बढ़ गए तो आपको मतलब काफी नुकसान हो सकता है। पर ऑप्शन में ये आपको राइट है कि आप उस भाव में बेच सकें, पर कोई ऑब्लिगेशन नहीं है। इसका मतलब अगर आपके पास क्रॉप डैमेज हो गया, ये हो गया, आप डिलीवर नहीं कर पाएंगे, पर वो ऑप्शन में आपको कंपल्शन नहीं है कि आपको करना है। आप ऑप्शन से हट सकते हैं, आपको कोई ऑब्लिगेशन नहीं है। तो ये जो एडवांटेज है ये ऑप्शन में ज्यादा है। तो ऑफ कोर्स क्रॉप इंश्योरेंस में मतलब में आपको जाना पड़ेगा अगर क्रॉप डैमेज हुआ है, पर ये जहां तक फ्यूचर्स और ऑप्शंस का सवाल है, ऑप्शंस इज अ बेटर इंस्ट्रूमेंट बिकॉज ऑफ दिस।
जी सर यहाँ पे एक क्वेश्चन होगा फार्मर्स से रिलेटेड। फार्मर्स अब भी रेगुलेटर्स के बारे में नहीं जानते हैं, तो आगे फ्यूचर ऑप्शंस के लिए फार्मर्स को जागरूक कैसे किया जाएगा कि ताकि वो इसमें इन्वॉल्व हो सके और आगे काम हो?
नहीं, हमें तो बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस है, जो एफपीओस काम कर चुके हैं वो तो लगातार कर रहे हैं। पर जैसे मैंने कहा ऑप्शंस फ्यूचर से ऑप्शंस का शिफ्ट जो है वो करेंगे, और इसमें जितना उनको सहयोग हम दे सकते हैं हम देंगे। सेबी भी दे रहा है, आगे जाके बाकी इंस्टीट्यूशंस भी करेंगे। नबार्ड है, एसएफएसी है, बैंक्स हैं, ठीक है। इन सब का संपर्क एफपीओस और फार्मर से है।
सर फार्मर्स
others are also live, so we should have a chance to others also. No,
Yeah, sure.
please wait.
सर दिस इज द लास्ट क्वेश्चन। एनसीडीएक्स अपने लिए क्या नए रिफॉर्म्स या क्या नई चीज़ें लेके आ रहा है, उसके साथ ही एपीएमसी में जो बदलाव आए हैं उससे एनसीडीएक्स को कितना फायदा मिल सकता है? दिस इज द लास्ट।
इसका अलग एक डिस्कशन करेंगे। ये जो डिस्कशन है ये ऑप्शंस के लिए है, और इसमें बहुत बहुत ज्यादा काम बाकी है, बहुत ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटी है। तो ये आपके द्वारा अगर बहुत किसानों और एफपीओ तक पहुंचे तो हम आपके मेहरबान रहेंगे।
जी जी, थैंक यू सो मच सर, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू।
Any other question from a media side? We have Mr. Rajiv MD and CEO of NCCL also, and there is an important role of the physical market and settlement side in this initiative. So we will request Mr. Rajiv Relan also to have a few words on this initiative. Mr. Rajiv Relan, please.
जैसे कि विजय सर ने बोला या कपिल ने जो प्रेजेंटेशन दी है, देयर इज ऑलवेज अ कॉस्ट इन दिस। जो भी है उसको हम सपोर्ट करेंगे सेबी के सहयोग के साथ, बट इसको हम कह सकते हैं एक सेल्फ इंश्योरेंस है। अगर हम एक फार्मर जो है जो खर्चा कर रहा है बीज पे, अपने फर्टिलाइजर पे, अगर वो थोड़ा सा प्रीमियम भी देता है डायरेक्टली या थ्रू एफपीओ, डेफिनेटली उसको लॉन्ग रन में इसका फायदा है। तो ये एक टूल है जो फ्यूचर में उसको बहुत मदद करेगा, ठीक है, जो क्रॉप के लिए प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए जो प्राइस जो है वो लॉक कर रहा है। तो डेफिनेटली ये जो है एफपीओ कम्युनिटी जो इसको लेके जाएगी फार्मर तक, इसका बहुत बड़ा जो फायदा होगा फार्मर को। ये चीजें जो है आप तक, अगर आप इस फार्मर कम्युनिटी या फार्मर तक ले जाते हैं तो इससे बहुत बड़ा पूरे इकोसिस्टम में फायदा होगा एक एग्रीकल्चर इकोनॉमी के लिए। तो ये मैं कहना चाहता हूँ कि ये क्रॉप इंश्योरेंस नहीं है, बट एक कह सकते हैं सेल्फ इंश्योरेंस है जो एफपीओ बॉडीज जो है ले जा सकती हैं अपने फार्मर कम्युनिटी के लिए, और उसका बहुत फायदा हर जो भी क्रॉप जो होगा जिसमें फार्मर इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करेगा उसको फायदा हो सकता है। और इसमें जो नुकसान का जो है वो लॉक इन है, तो ऐसा नहीं कि उसको नुकसान बहुत ज्यादा होगा, नुकसान नहीं होगा, प्रीमियम तक ही उसकी जो लायबिलिटी सीमित रहेगी। थैंक यू।
So we have around more than 45 minutes of the discussion. We will have last 2-3 questions if you have in mind from the media side. Otherwise, we will have a lot of thanks. Any question from the media friends? Any question?
Sir, Lakshmi again. Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So right now, how do you assess the participation in options in rapeseed and chana, sir? How do you assess it? Is there any significant participation?
No, we are building this. The whole purpose of this familiarization is to start building the participation. That's the objective.
Do you plan to see government support to bear the premium, sir? Because anyway, government is encouraging a lot to set up, and if the government can bear the premium, then there would be more participation.
Yeah, I think the point is for us, from our perspective, is to familiarize FPOs, and then, of course, as I mentioned, there are a lot of institutions which work actively with farmers. There's NABARD, SFAC. There is banks which are lending money. So all of them can sort of provide any support that that the FPO needs or the farmers need for that matter. But I think at the end of it, it is economic rationale. It is that do you want to protect your income? And if you do, then this is a good tool to do it in. Of course, it costs some money, but it provides you an assurance. So I think it is. There are obviously many ways in which the farmers and FPOs will do it for themselves, as well as there are many agencies which can support them in doing it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So I think there is no further question from the media side, and we have been able to respond to media queries successfully. I will request Mr. Kapil Dev to have a vote of thanks, and we will conclude this session today.
Thank you, Rajiv, Vijay, and Kalpesh. It was. I would again thanks all the media persons to join this on a short notice and understanding the initiative which Exchange is taking, and we are quite hopeful that with the support of media, a lot of awareness shall be created among the FPOs, and we will keep on interacting and updating all the media friends about the progress which we will be seeing in this initiative, and we will keep on sharing success stories of this initiative with all of you as well. So with this, thank you very much again for joining this, and stay safe, and wish you all a very happy Diwali in advance.